Hi, my name is Hanson Bursick, and I'm here to talk about two comics and compare the two. One is Captain America Boxed In by Jim Valenez, and the second is The Malpractice Suite by Art Spiegelman. I think the piece that had the biggest impact on me was Art Spiegelman's The Malpractice Suite. I really liked the way that he used different perspectives and the way that he incorporated the panel within a panel within his comics to kind of tell a story in a unique and different way. Oftentimes in my own work as a documentarian, I always look for different perspectives. I always look for different ways to tell the traditional story. And he does that. He takes a pretty basic concept and with an amazing point of view and an amazing style, he makes it interesting and powerful. And I love that. Each panel has two different layers, or maybe even three different layers, based on the different point of views of the different characters. Tells a lot about the story, and it depicts the characters' different viewpoints in a way that I don't think would be able to do within the traditional comic book narrative. I think it's a very different piece than my other piece that I'm analyzing, which is Captain America Boxed In, because it gives you less information rather than more, and you have to kind of take the blocky, very simplistic art style, and you have to kind of analyze the limited content that you've been given. Captain America Boxed In, you're given less information than a normal comic, and you have to draw conclusions based on having no text boxes, having very little context clues, and having a style that is very hard to read, versus the Malpractice Suite, which you're given so much information. You're given all of these different point of views, and the average panel, which in a comic would give you so much information, now gives you double the information because of the style. It makes both comics very interesting in different ways, and it makes both comics have very different contrasting art forms that I think make them both very, very, very powerful pieces. So just expanding on the art style a little bit more, Captain America Boxed In has a very simplistic art style. Everything is very thick and blocky and all very monochromatic. It doesn't give you a lot other than this very minimalistic, very simplistic, almost, it looks like a carbon copy of the original comic, and for that it's very interesting, and it says a lot. It's very expressive. And compared to the other comic, which gives you so much in a panel, the art style is very vulgar and crude, but it's also very purposeful, and it's very overdramatic for a reason, because it's coming from different people's perspectives. It's like a view into their world, it's a view into their psyche. And I think that art style really contributes to the power of the piece, is that, you know, these people have all these biases and you're seeing them. And it's really an amazing way to put the reader in the person's head. I think both pieces were very emotionally impactful pieces. Obviously, the Malpractice Suite really has a lot of depth to it, and it has a lot of areas that you can really read into. And because of that, it becomes a very emotional piece, and it's pretty obvious the emotional effect that you feel with it. You know, you feel these very intense emotions coming from different people's perspectives. But for Captain America Boxed In, it's a totally different thing. It's very hard to read the emotion of it, because it's very cold, and just that's the art style. So emotionally, you feel detached. You feel like you're looking in on the world rather than you're a part of all these people's stories, like in the Malpractice Suite. It's a very different approach. It's a more artistic approach. I think it's a more minimalistic approach, and it makes it a different kind of piece for me, emotionally. So in conclusion, when analyzing Captain America Boxed In and the Malpractice Suite, they're both expressive in very different ways, and they're both experimental in their very different ways. But it makes them very unique and special pieces, and they have their very awesome qualities to them.